welcome Mr. Sanjeev. And I'm Ravi from Kingston Institute, Australia. So I'm looking international market, and my colleague Miss Maya Chedenda, she is looking Indonesia market and also India, Pakistan, and other market as well. She is completely involved in student recruitment from the top to bottom. So in the future, if any like in your team, if they need any kind of information, they can ask to Maya. So let's start our consultant information session. That every time we give this session to our consultant, and then if any confusion, you are welcome to ask question. So may I request you, Maya, to present your presentation to Mr. Sanjeev and his team. So
Yeah.
let's start. Okay, thank you.
No worries. Okay. Just give me one moment. I'll share my screen.
Sure.
Um, Okay, so here on behalf of Kingston, I would like to present about our college, about what are the advantages of enrolling students in our college, and all those things. Yeah, on all everything that's related to student admission. So, first of all, the Kingston Institute Australia, we are a registered training organization that deliver vocational education and training in Australia for domestic students. And also we are registered with the CRICOS to deliver courses to international students as well. Our courses are registered for qualifications nationally recognized in Australia. So at the moment we are offering business and accounting, leadership management, IT subjects, applied blockchain, and also general English, but I'll go into that a bit later. And then for our college as well, we are following the Education Services for Overseas Students Act 2000 and National Code 2007 for international students. So in Australia itself, there are two main categories for college. We have vocational education and also higher education. So what are the differences between these two? So first of all, with vocational education, we are providing graduates or students with more practical skills, a more hands-on experience as well, and it's like 50-50 between the class and also the practical as well. But for higher education, they're mostly focused on providing theory-based and professional career paths. So it is best for people who want to gain a deep knowledge of particular subject. So for example, if a student or let's say a person, they want to study for a research or maybe a specialized knowledge, then higher education would be best. But something that's more practical or job-ready skills, vocational education is best for them. And then apart from that, the tuition fees are also quite different. For vocational education is mostly are more budget friendly. Meanwhile, higher education, as you can see here, the comparison, they're ranging between 15,000 to 33,000 per year. And then for the requirements as well, vocational education, our minimum requirements is 5.5 IELTS overall, and then at least the student has to graduate it from year 12 or year 11 for Australian education for domestic students. But for higher education, they will require 6.5 IELTS overall minimum, and also some other courses they might have additional entry requirements like preparation class or something similar. So vocational education is more versatile basically. And also if we look at the graduates, 78% of vocational education graduates, they are employed after the training. Meanwhile, for let's say for bachelor graduates, they are employed after training about 68% of them, and mostly they continue to master or something else, but they don't really go straight to the workforce usually. So that's based on the research that I did on government website. So next, moving on. This is our vision, values, and business strategies. So our values, we value the excellence in teaching and learning. We value the caring of students and staff, integrity and transparency, and accountability. And then our vision is to be recognized as one of the leading Australian private education provider. And our business strategies are to produce employable and work-ready graduates, like vocational education in general, and then sustainable and financially viable institutions. And also we engage students, staff, stakeholders in learning and teaching experiences. So what all of this means is that we accept our students as a family, and we also put our teaching quality as a number one priority. And basically we want to make sure all of our students, all the graduates, they're ready to work outside after they finish their studies. Now, based on all of that, why do you have to choose Kingston, Australia? So we were established in 2013, which means it's been already 8 years of experience. And then because of our experience as well, we hire highly trained teachers. We have a great location. Haymarket is basically about 5-minute walk from Central Station for our college, 5 to 7 minutes walk, and then it's like easily accessible and lots of public transport, lots of restaurant and everything else. So it's in the middle of the city. And we have multiple intakes. So some other education providers, they might have 2 intakes in a year or 3 intakes. We have 8 intakes in a year. So it's like almost every month. It's very easy. Like they can start anytime they want. Our courses are also affordable with flexible payment. So for the payment, usually we do every 3 months, but we also offer payment plans. So if the student maybe they have a problem to pay on time for this period, then they can offer a payment plan. They can manage, like maybe I will pay monthly or maybe 3 weekly basis. So it's whatever suits them best. And also our classes relatively smaller, which is why we can give the students more attention with the face-to-face teaching. And then we also have our individual student support and counseling service. Students who have problems with their academics or even personal problem, if they don't mind, they're very welcome to talk with any of the staff that they're comfortable with. And we have academic and extracurricular activities. At the moment, not really, to be honest, because of the COVID. But if the situation is getting better, we sometimes go out with students because they're just like our friends as well. And our classrooms are equipped with modern computers, and then also unlimited access to Wi-Fi, and finally library and areas for group work and also meetings. For the next part, I would like to introduce the courses that we are offering at the moment. So we have business course, accounting course, IT, leadership management, applied blockchain, and general English. So basically for business and accounting, we are offering certificate for 2 advanced diploma. Meanwhile for IT and leadership, we are only offering diploma and advanced diploma and applied blockchain as well, which is our newest course. So with applied blockchain, because of the like with the emerging technology at the moment, we have quite a lot of demand for this course. It is pretty new, but also have lots of potential about technology itself. And basically, it's very interesting subject, but we really need, like, mostly the students are the serious students who really want to study. And then for the business, accounting, IT, and leadership, the fees for offshore is $10,000 per year. For applied blockchain is $15,000 per year. And finally, for general English is $200 per week. So with the general English, is a bit special. For the students, they don't need the minimum requirement of IELTS 5.5, but if they're enrolled for general English, what we do is usually we do a placement test. If they're offshore, we do it online, and then once they come here, they can just take another test, like just to it's like an official test for the onshore part, and then they can just start their study, whether they want to do it online or maybe face to face. It's up to them. And also, if they finish general English, then if they pass the exam, then they're guaranteed entry to our vocational education course. So it's like a package as well. And for our intake, we have intake in January, February, April, May, July, August, October, and November. And also for additional fees, we have the enrollment fees, $200, and material fees only for applied blockchain and also general English. For English, the material fees is usually based on the level of the English that they're studying. So for, let's say, for 12 weeks, they will need just to pay $200, but then the more the higher the level, usually is a bit more expensive because the longer of the study period as well. But this one usually is we can do like case-to-case basis, because it depends on the student's needs as well. And then for the next part, we have our pathway. We are working together with Southern Cross University. So for the students who graduated from diploma and advanced diploma of any course in our college, except applied blockchain, they will get a 1.5 year credit, which means they can save up their time to up to half a year in uni. Because let's say if they go to another college to their bachelor, to their degree, they need to study for another 2 years, but with us, Southern Cross University, they just need to study 1.5 year and they can get the degree. So if they ended up going to uni, why do they need to go to vocational education? So by doing diploma or advanced diploma course or anything in vocational education, they will have more time to adjust financially, because they will have time to work. And then also with vocational education, we are more flexible with the schedule. Let's say if the student goes straight to uni, it's going to be like maybe 3 to 5 days studying. But with college, most of the college, including us, it's only the schedule, the timetable is only like 2 days a week that they need to attend, and the rest is like up to them, whatever they want to do. They can work, they can maybe travel, they can enjoy Australia. So it's it also gives more freedom to students as well to enjoy their life. And for the next part, we have our eligibility requirements. So English proficiency, minimum 5.5 overall, except for general English, because then again, English is special class, let's say. And for numeracy, I think numeracy, if the student already graduate from secondary or high school, then they will get this, they will fulfill this requirement. And for academic requirements, international students, minimum is higher secondary, or if they already did education in Australia, then at least year 11. And for the age, so usually we accept students 18 years or above, but we also have some cases with under 18 students actually. It's just for under 18 is basically more expensive. And also, they will need to arrange a homestay to stay in Australia until they turn 18. So, with the under 18, there's a bit more requirements to that, obviously. So, yeah. And for the admission process, it starts with submitting application and also relevant documents. What are documents? I'll go into it later. But this one is basically the outline of our admission. And then after submitting documents, maybe about 3 to 5 business days, we will issue the offer letter. And finally, acceptance of offer by students and also the payment of the first initial payment for the course. So it doesn't really mean like they have to pay full fees, but during this time, we also accept 50% of the first year tuition fee. And then we will issue the confirmation of enrollment certificate. And finally, from the COE, then students can apply for the visa. And the last part is to attend the college orientation, which is usually a week before the start date. Now, for the documents, the required documents, I have divided into 2 groups. So for the issuance of offer letter, what they need to submit is completed student application form, their copy of passport, their copy of academic transcript. I wrote down latest academic transcript because maybe sometimes the student has done some degree back in country as well, so they can also submit that one to us. And then IELTS or any equivalent English test. So it could be PTE, or some students they actually submit Duolingo, which is pretty new, but it is valid. So yeah, we accept that one as well. And for the COE, they just need to submit the signed offer letter, statement of purpose, their proof of income, or maybe like any legal documents to as an evidence for their financial. And finally, we just need to assess the GTE, and if it's approved, then we will issue the COE for students. So I think up to here is still okay. Now next part, for the living expenses for students. So usually there are 3 main expenses based on my experience, because I was also a student like a couple of years ago. So from the accommodation, the private room is, to be honest, it's like the most expensive one. Like some students maybe they prefer to have studio apartment or something, but it's really expensive and I wouldn't really recommend it to students. The most common one is sharing house. So usually if they have some friends, then they will like get a unit and then share it maybe between 5 of them or something, and it will really save the money. But how much it is also depends on the location and how many people, the type of accommodation, and many other things as well. So usually the fees is like about 80 to 350. But I would say if you get like 120, it's like normal. I think it's cheap enough in normal. And then for the next part, for the food, if you go outside, if students go outside, they will spend about $10 to $30 per meal. But cooking at home, they just need to do groceries, and they can save up like maybe in a month they just need to spend $150 for groceries, and it's like normal. So yeah. And finally, for the transport, in Sydney, New South Wales, we are using this card. It's Opal card, so we just need to tap on every time we get into the bus or a ferry or train. We are using the same card, and if we have spent $50 in a week, then the rest is gonna be like zero. So the maximum is like $50. It's not gonna be more than that. And then for the from those expenses, I have estimate of the living cost, like tuition fees as well, including all of the other expenses. Roughly for a year, they might need about 23,000, but that's including all the tuition fees and yeah, all the study And that's for this part. But during 1 year, they can also work, which is, I think, one of the reasons why students go to Australia, including me. So we are allowed to work 40 hours fortnightly. That's during our study period. What does it mean? That during our holiday or term break, we don't have any work limitations. And in Kingston, we have 12 weeks of term break. So which means in 12 weeks they can work like full time or anything. It doesn't really matter, like it doesn't harm their visa conditions. So which is pretty great. All they need to do is get a holiday letter from the college, and they can just work, just in case, like if there were questions or anything, then they've got evidence for that. And also the best part is, as per 1 July 2021, which is actually about a week ago, they just raised the minimum wage to $20.33 per hour. Because I remember when I came here first time, I think it was 4 years ago, it was around $17 something per hour, the minimum wage. But every year they revise and they increase again. So yeah, I think this one is like, it's so good because every year is just like increasing. So yeah, and definitely student can save up for that. I did some calculations as well, and let's say for diploma, advanced diploma, 2.5 year study, they might spend around 57,000 for expenses. But during 2.5 year, they can also earn up to like $63,000. So it's actually a surplus. So yeah, but next part for our college, we have our team. Basically, we have our CEO. His name is Deepak Khanal, and then working together with him, we have our director of studies, administration, accounting, student support and admission, and then IT team, and finally marketing team. In total, we have roughly 25 employees, and we came from various places in the world. We have people from Bangladesh, we have people from Nepal, Indonesia, Vietnam, Thailand as well. So it's culturally diverse in our workplace, and it feels very good because it's like a inclusive. So yeah, it's like a family as well. And these are for the email address. If you need to send email, if you need to ask anything, if you have any queries, you can send the email related to what you need to ask about or the information itself. So for student related inquiries, you can always send email to admission. Anything about our promotion, commission, incentives, and other things, you can send it to marketing, account department, to send an invoice, or maybe if the student pay the tuition fees, you can send it to accounts. And finally, other inquiries, you can always talk to Rafi or talk to me. And yeah, that's basically everything, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Maya, for the lovely representation. It was so good to know about everything about Kingston.
Thank you.
Welcome. And I got a couple of queries that I want to ask you guys.
Yeah.
As you said, the diploma, advanced diploma, and the diploma, once the students are done from our college, then he would be able to do is whatever he's going to do. Is it going for the bachelor or master?
They can do bachelor first.
Bachelor, right? So let's say we got a student who has done 12, he'll go for diploma, and then if he wants to do advanced, he'll do advanced, and then he can transfer. He has to do both of them before he go to the university.
I think yeah.
No, Mr. Sanjeev, what a student can do, only when a student they do the advanced diploma, they can get a more credit transfer when they go for bachelor. But student can, suppose you enroll one student in diploma of IT and advanced diploma of IT, but student want to move after diploma of IT, then he is not going to get a 12 subject credit transfer in the uni and other higher education provider. At that time he can get only 8 subject credit transfer.
Okay, fair
So
enough.
he need to do 2 years, but when they finish the 3 years diploma and advanced diploma programs, then they can finish their bachelor in 1.5 years. So only the difference, what is the difference? They can't get a credit transfer that they get when they do the advanced diploma.
So basically, it's advisable to do both of them and then get transferred.
Yeah, because they can get a more credit transfer, they can save their time, and they can also save their fees as well, because they have to pay very expensive fees in a uni. That is the main point.
Fair enough. As Maya said that the new test, which is the lingo, you are accepting that as well. How much score are you taking? Is it 90, 100? What score are you taking?
I need to check because it was
Equivalent to 5.5, so you can
Okay.
equivalent with the IELTS.
All right, fair enough. And when it comes to Kingston, what kind of gap are we accepting? Like,
At this moment what we are doing, we are not accepting like 17, suppose 2017 pass out, so 18, because from the 19 COVID started, that's, and then 20 border was closed, that's why student couldn't. So 18 is fine, but what we advise to the student, at least if they have a 18, if they are engaged somewhere, that can be a beneficial for them, because once a student finish the study, either a student has to continue their study or they have to engage in somewhere they can work or like that. So they have to prove that, okay, because sometimes if the student have a 2 and 3 years gap and suddenly they start the study, when they come here they cannot continue their study in a proper way. That's why we need, and if they are involved in a job or they engage in a job, so as a result that job experience also teach them so many things, and then they can continue their study when they come here. So just you can accept after 2018. But
okay,
if
fair
any
enough.
issue from 2017, you have to ask them their some experience,
Justification.
where they have engaged since 3 years.
Just fair enough. So the entry criteria when it comes to English, it's 5.5. Am I right?
Yes, 5.5.
Yeah.
That is the
So
minimum.
let's say there is a student who got 5.5 and 5 in one module. Is he gonna go with the English course or ALI, which is called ALI?
Overall we need a 5.5.
Okay.
Yeah, 5.5.
So that's what, doesn't matter each module 5.
No, if you check our offer letter, it will 5.5 overall and 5 not less than 5. So if they get a 4.5, they need to go 12 weeks general English course.
Okay, that's what I was about to ask. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. So the student has an option to choose English course and then go to the diploma.
They have
Okay.
But so they have to do 12 weeks English course, and they have to be competent there. They have to complete that English test. General English is not like that you spend your time, no. But eventually you have to also give a test there, and then our DOS, director of study, and they decide that, okay, now this student is able to go main course. Yeah.
Okay, let's say when it comes to 5.5 student, does it affect any kind of on the visa when it comes to the college, or is it
5.5 is a minimum level, and we are not the right person to talk whether it impact to visa or not.
No, the reason I asked you, since you must have seen the results, since you are representing Kingston from a while now and you're working. So how has been the journey with the visas when it comes? Because the reason I'm asking, because when you, as I representative, when I'll be talking to the student, the first thing they want to know whether I'll get a visa or not. So that's why I'm being very frank to you, and if I'll have an idea, then I'll be giving them my best. That's what I'm trying to ask you.
If you go specifically for IS, so sometimes we experience 6.5 rejected and 5.5 accepted.
Yeah, that's true. Very true of you. Very true
Yeah,
of you.
that's why minimum is a 5.5. So maybe there are some other things that also play the role, like their
Mhm.
academic, their gap, when their GT document, how they are writing, what is their purpose of coming here, like, so all those things. But in context of IELTS, 5.5 is even in my college. I have so many students, they got a visa in context of English course as well. So
Okay, great.
the 12 weeks English course and the main course. And even I have a experience that some student, they have a 6.5 and their visa was rejected. What
Everyone.
can I say? Yeah.
I totally understand. That's happening in every country, to be honest. That
Yeah.
happens in
Yeah.
Canada. So, how much funds are we required when it comes to Kingston, and how old they need to be? Is
Uh,
it this?
uh, for that, I have to ask my country manager. Then he will send me the list. How much?
Kindly.
Yeah. I think I'm not sure about 28,000 per year. We have to show that, but for that as well, because college, we don't deal those things. But I
जी
can
जी.
ask, because we have that list, and he is also migration agent, and he is in Nepal, so I can ask him here, because 2 and 3 consultant already asked me, Ravi, send us that checklist. As
Kindly,
that we
kindly.
can make, we will. So Maya, what we can do, we can ask to our regional manager, and then you can ask and you can send to Mr. Sanjeev that document.
Kindly do, because that's
Sure.
what we tend to get asked. So I will need to be well prepared before we represent any
Yeah.
product with the student.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's all for now. And as I said, this was the training session, and I would really love to have another session where we can go live on Facebook and do kind of question. I'll prepare myself with the kind of question that we tend to ask from the student, and then either Mr. Ravi sir or Maya, if you both want to be there, or Mr. Ravi sir, you could be there and just answer those questions. That would be kind of promotion for the Kingston from our end and from your end.
No worries. We are happy to go through that. No problem. Just send us your calendar, and then we will
Definitely, we'll do that.
happy for that.
Definitely.
Yeah. Before to leave, I just want to go. Maya, can you please share the screen? I want to go in an academic program, because
Please, kindly,
one thing is
kindly,
missing there. I want to give a more clear picture there.
Okay.
please.
Academic programs. Okay, just one moment.
Yeah. In this, Mr. Sanjeev, you can see that we have a program from certificate, and in business and accounting, we start program from certificate to advanced diploma and accounting. So in accounting, because in other programs like business, information technology, leadership, applied blockchain, there is no any prerequisite, you know. So, but in context of accounting, certificate 4 in accounting is the prerequisite. So if any student, they want to do, they cannot straight away start the diploma. Okay.
Okay,
So they
okay,
must go from the certificate 4, because in certificate 4 there is the 7 subject, that is the prerequisite. So a student has to complete that 7 subject, and then after they can start the diploma. But in context of other program like business, information technology, there is no any request. For example, any your student can start from diploma straight away, or they can also start from advanced diploma straight away, no problem. In
okay,
accounting, your student can start from advanced diploma of IT, no problem. Same leadership as well. Only in context of accounting, if any student asks you, I want to do accounting, so you have to tell them, yes, you must go from certificate 4 in accounting. Maybe your friend can ask you why I need to go from certificate. My friend is going to diploma of business, so you can explain them certificate 4 in accounting is the prerequisite for diploma of accounting. That's why they need to go from certificate 4 in accounting. That's all.
correct.
Only in accounting.
Okay. Is it only for accounting, or is it's same for business as well? Because that's what is
Only
written in
only
the.
for accounting. Only for accounting.
Okay. Okay. Fair
But
enough.
for other course, there is no any prerequisite for any level. So a student can start from any level. Even suppose if I wanted to diploma of accounting, then I cannot start the diploma accounting straight away. I must do the certificate for in accounting. But in context of applied blockchain, I can start from advanced diploma of applied
Okay. Fair
blockchain.
enough.
Okay,
Fair
yeah.
enough.
So that is
So,
the main part, because sometime what I found that student, they do the argument, no, I got admission in diploma of IT and you got any certificate, and that is the lower level. How it is then? You have to explain them. This is the condition, and this is
yeah,
not
that's it.
from our college. This is the Australian government education department. That's ASQA requirement. We have to meet that.
Understand. Totally understand, sir. Do make sense. Yeah.
So, any other questions, Mr. Sanjay? You
I
want?
think that's all from now from my end. And sorry, yeah, the application fees is there, right?
uh,
Is
that's the
there any kind?
enrollment piece. When you request a certificate like a confirmation of enrollment, not an application. For the
COE.
I think, what I hope that we are the only one college who issue the offer letter without any like a fees or something. We issue the offer letter, we don't charge a fees. But when you apply visa and you need a confirmation of enrollment, then the $200 is a enrollment fees.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
that is.
That's all. That's all from my end, sir.